Yes.
And I'm so happy to know participants on behalf of sir and the core team members for the Mental Health Webinar Series 2020, organized by the Department of Psychology, the American College Madurai, in association with Madras School of Social Work, MS Chalamuthu Institute of Mental Health and Rehabilitation Center, Madurai, Red Pond Educational and Psychological Research.
You are not audible. Akshaya, you are not audible.
Network.
Hello? Even I cannot hear your voice also. There is a problem from my side or your side.
Sir, can you hear me now?
Now I can hear you. But what about Akshaya?
Network issue, sir. I think we can go ahead, sir.
Yeah, in that case, I will do one thing. I will do welcome and then introduce the speaker. Very good evening, one and all. And today I'm happy to welcome today's speaker, Ananya Lakshmi. She is one of the prominent psychologists. I think another 2 or 3 decades will know that she will be one of the renowned person in the field. That assurance I can give. I welcome her for today's webinar session, and I welcome all the participants over here on behalf of the Department of Psychology, American College, Madurai, and associating institutions like Madras School of Social Work, Chennai, MS Chalamuthu Institute, Madurai, Department of Psychology, Madurai, Kamaraj University, Red Pond Education Psychological Research Center, and technical support by Yellow Pond. I welcome each one of you for this webinar session. And I am happy to introduce today's speaker. And Ananya, known to me through Axel Lakshmi, when this initiative was made to conduct, to create an awareness about mental health, they were the participant, and I asked, "Can you please can you help me?" And I can say that the open-heartedly they come forward, and she is the one actively helping me through the session, and she is one of the active core team member. That is one component. Second thing, what I found in her, and she's one of the important quality for a very good psychologist, I can say, open to learn, okay, and accept getting feedback from that experienced person. It may be an one or two person, and she's having both the qualities. And the few sessions earlier she took is an amazing, and I referred some of the program also. And right now she is working as an assistant professor in the Department of Psychology at Madras School of Social Work. Not only that, and she's having some other extra activities also. She's helping police well-being program to promote mental health, and she's having more experience in the field of school counseling, and she tried to explore, and she's a life member of Tamil Nadu Career Counselor Association. And I'm really happy to introduce Ananya for today's session 143. Yes.
243, sir.
Yes, 283.
Yes. Thank you so much, Suresh, sir, for that overwhelming welcome and introduction. I'm really glad that I'm being a part of this, and I'm really glad that all the resource person, whoever is here, has done a service kind of thing to all of us. So I'm really happy that I'm also able to present or do a seminar or a session for us today. So I'm really glad, as you told, yeah, I'm going to learn from all of the participants here today. It's a very current topic. So today I don't have a PPT. I don't have a PPT today. I about we have to explore of school like age group. I think most of our children are in that age group, and few of us might even have um, children who are like adults also, who are going to work, and young adults kind of age group also. But this group is very inevitable. This group of college going population is inevitable, okay, in our lives. We get out to the street down there, we see a person, we see a child on the street, we see a college going student, let it be your own child, okay, population is in. And today we all of us are going to learn from each other. So I want this chat box to be very interactive. I want the people to, unmute themselves and talk to me, unmute themselves and give their opinion in general, and also to use the chat box. That is a request from me. So with that note, I'm going to begin the session. Today, I'm going to talk about something called virtual learning anxiety. It's called virtual learning anxiety. We all know what is virtual learning. We are actually doing it right now. It's called virtual learning. I am using a virtual platform to say something to you, or you are like that. This is called virtual learning. Okay. So, what is this concept of anxiety, and who are the people who are actually suffering from this so-called virtual learning anxiety? Is the topic. Okay. Before even going into the topic, I would really want to, um, you know, ask this question: does this topic make any sense? Virtual learning anxiety. I spoke about this topic to somebody, and they were like, really, anxiety for virtual learning? It's a learning process, and why would somebody feel anxious about it? That was the question that I got. Thank you, Krishnan sir. He is telling me that he is suffering from virtual learning anxiety. It's not a disorder, or it is not a disease. It is not a thing that has been labeled like virtual learning anxiety yet. But there is something BBC, and then these are the channels that are talking about virtual learning anxiety. Okay, they are more focusing on that rather than what our social media or our media in general are focusing on. So this is very important, and this is a concept that is there. So can I have one college going student? Can somebody type me in the group, in the chat box, college going student? If you are a college going student, just type me or I in the chat box. Jayashree ma'am says, yes, in early days I was suffering from it. Okay. Thank you, Jayashree ma'am. A college going student, put a me or just unmute yourself and say hi to me. Hi, I'm ready to say hi. Hi from one college going student. Hi, Kirtana. Sir, hi. So, yes. So, can I? Okay, Harini, Hemamali, you are also going to college. Yeah, I'm really glad that you people are here, and this is a topic that I'm talking for you. And all the other people who are here are going to support you and are going to take you through this stage in a very comfortable way. So, yes, can I call upon Harini? Harini, can you just unmute yourself and tell me um, the routine that you are undergoing, like your daily routine? Can you tell me, or not even Harini, can anybody in the group tell me your daily routine? What is your daily routine? Morning, you're getting up, and what are you doing? And just a brief thing.
Ma'am, can I tell my routine?
Harini Kanan, sure.
Yes, ma'am. So it's like I wake up early in the morning and then I sit in front of the laptop to attend classes. And like half of the day, like up until like 2 o'clock, it just time flies away attending classes. Then after some times, Some days I used to have classes in between in the evening, and then it eventually becomes night, and then I eat, then I sleep, do some homework assignments. Then this is how my day, my routine goes.
Okay, thank you, Harini, so much for that.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you, Harini. So, can anybody else also tell me? Can one other person tell me your routine, college student? It means a lot, Harini. Thank you so much. One other student, unmute yourself and tell me your routine.
Good evening, ma'am.
Yes,
I'm
good evening.
Keetana.
Yes, good evening.
Okay. So
Go ahead,
it's
Keetana.
very similar to what Harini said. I'd wake up in the morning, listen to classes. Sometimes before class, I would revise, depending upon what to start in class. And then after classes are over, I'd have to take a nap, and then I'd have food. And then because I took the nap, it would feel like the whole day is over, and then the day is actually over. That's all.
Okay, thank you so much for sharing that, Keetana. Harini and Keetana, thank you. You have made meaning to this. Really, genuinely, thank you for sharing your experience. So this routine that people, this college going students following, is completely different from what they were actually following when before the pandemic thing. Okay, so. During usually okay, yes, okay, normally okay, I'm so sorry for that. I think can somebody mute Shivakumar sir for a minute for me? Yes, thank you so much for that. And I mean, this routine is what is actually having a big thing. Maybe this child is telling me that he or she is, using this screen time or having the screen time from 8 o'clock in the morning to 2 o'clock, 5 hours time, and assignment and other things are other things that they are doing. So it is maybe let's add 3 or 4 hours of time for people to use during this assignment process. Okay, so it is around 8 hours of time, screen time. And Keetna told us that she wants to take a nap so that she feels better also. And she feels that after that she's having this feel that the entire day is gone. So the normal thing that we talk to people and we go out and do things are all completely missing right now. So this itself is causing some kind of anxiety in people. So I'm going to show you some memes. I'm going to share my screen and show you my, just a minute, some memes. Nowadays, students are using only memes to talk
I'm unable to
about
see
their
the
feelings and other things.
I'm unable to see
So
the
can
screen.
you all see my? I'm just sharing, sir. Can you see it now?
Yeah,
Yes.
thank you.
So thank you, Krishnan, sir. So this is the first meme. Page itself has this name, online class memes. Okay, there are lots of memes, and a few of them might think that it is a waste of time reading memes, or they can simply read it out and just go off like that. But to be frank, most of the memes shared make some sense to people. That's why they are sharing it in the very huge or the sharing thing is happening really lot. Okay, only few memes go around like that viral. So this is one of the meme, and this is one of the things that is causing anxiety in students during the virtual classroom. Okay, so first is Pura. Okay, what this meme tells is if you are like tying a message in the legs of the bird, it will reach sooner than uploading a PDF file to Google Classroom or whatever. So the network connectivity is the problem here. Okay, the network connectivity is one of the major issues that is causing anxiety to people. Okay, now in my place the current is gone. Okay, the electricity is gone. So Akshaya, who is using the Wi-Fi, actually is not able to join the meeting because of a lot of reasons. So generator it's running, so I can continue my class because I'm using my mobile phone. Otherwise, what is the second backup? Nothing. Okay, so people miss out lots of classes, lots of content, or lots of syllabus because of this network issue. I am working as an assistant professor in a department, in psychology department in my college. Okay, there are students who genuinely want to attend class but are not able to attend class because they have network issue. They are not able to submit the assignment on time. They are not able to do certain things. They have a presentation today, so during the presentation it goes off like that. The power supply goes off or net connection goes off like that. That actually causes anxiety in children. Okay, that actually causes anxiety in college students. So today, if that happens to me, I also will freak out and I will have a short anxiety thing that is going on in me during the presentation. It will genuinely happen because it is an automatic thing. Okay, it is related to your adrenaline rush. Anxiety is good to it doesn't decrease activity. So this is the second meme that I screen is Thanos and wishes their eye. Okay, so time is actually taking away the eye from us. Okay, it is a genuine representation and this is being shared to a very large number. Okay, this is true and this is happening. You will see why I'm showing this at the end. Okay. Week of doing online school, and this is how all of us feel. This is true. This is a genuine thing. Most of the teachers do not tell how they feel about the online classes to the students. That is one other problem that is actually happening. Okay, the teachers are maybe not trying to tell or share things with the students. Actually, it is not helping. If you only because the students are thinking that I am the only person who is having this issue. I am the only person who is actually having headache or body pain or whatever, because all the other people in the class are actually not having any problem and they are not talking about it. So maybe I am wrong. So that is the thought that is there in their head, and that is actually troubling them a lot. So I'm genuinely telling you, if you feel that it is okay to tell it to your students, as a teacher, as a professor, as a elderly person who is having a child at home, who is having a college going student at home, kindly tell that it is happening to you. You have to find a way to come out of it. We will look into how we are going to do that. But this is one of the reasons why I chose whatever the topic is today. Virtual learning anxiety. I chose a topic because this particular thing disturbed me a lot. These are all memes shared by my own students. Okay, I asked help from my students, and my students actually shared it to me. Okay, they genuinely feel all these things. That is the reason why I have actually got these memes. Okay, this is one. I'm going to read it out. How was the online class? What did you get from it? That is the question somebody is asking. The response from a school going or college going student is headache, back pain, eye irritation, redness in the eye. Okay, I'm not telling online classes are totally negative and we should not go for it. But a genuine break in between is really, really needed. A particular school or a particular college is having classes for at least 4 hours a day. Okay, from Monday to Saturday, 4 hours a day is not okay. I'm telling you personally because when we started this, Suresh sir began with this webinar series, when we are around 60 or something, Akshaya, I, and I'm sure other core team members also felt like we are cope up with it. Okay, it's kind of not because this is happening. Okay, this is just 1 hour. I really appreciate each and every person in this group. I know you have attended your college. I know that you have other jobs that you actually went through, and you are here. I really appreciate you for being here, but it is period of time. Okay, the college students are being in college for past 3 months. Okay, they need a break. That's the truth. That is the reality. If we are not about it, I really appreciate the government for giving 10 days of break. From September 21st to October 2nd, the school students had a break. Okay, I really appreciate that, and I really um, uh, I feel thankful that that happened, because the school students are really relieved at least for 10 days of time. That time is needed for everybody. Okay, maybe we can compare ourselves with the tech guys who are going to, and working in the laptop or a system for a very long period of time. We can compare, but it is different. These are children. These are I know school students who are going to, I mean, attending online classes for 3 hours a day, okay, daily, and they have assignments, they have things that they have to submit online, and everything is online. We are at least young adults. We have lived our life at least to a certain, period of time. These people are going to suffer with their physical thing for a very long period of time. This is going to have an impact. I know, we all know it. Okay, then who are the people who are going to talk about it? Okay, so that's the reason why I took this topic, and this disturbed me a lot, and this is the fact. Okay, this is what happened when we began our session. I had high irritation and headache and all. Started teaching in the class, online classes for my students. So I bought a glass for myself that prevents the blue rays and everything. So it kind of helps me. I don't know how many students are having those in their mind. So this is actually stressing them out in general. Okay. So this is a video that I want you to see. Okay. Before that, I'm going to show this. Somebody tell me if you can hear it. Okay. That might have increased your anxiety for a bit. I'm sure. That was too loud, and that is the message that I got. Video in the WhatsApp status. That's the fact. Okay. How they feel. This is the level of anxiety that they feel, and they are not telling it out to anybody. So this is what is happening, and this particular video also disturbed me a lot. Okay, that's the reason why I'm talking about school or college going students. College student going students they also have mental health, and we should know about it. And we have to give them time to talk about it. We have to give them time to talk about it. The school, at least college going students, we sometimes, I from a psychology department, I can tell that we genuinely sometimes give time for the students during the online class to talk to us. Okay, to talk to us, how do you feel, what is happening that made you happy, some kind of natural talk. Okay? That is not happening in schools. That cannot, I don't know how possible it is to have during the 50 of them in a sixth grade attending an online class. I don't know how possible it is, but those are the population that need counseling. Okay. As I told you, I'm working as a assistant professor in some college, and we have counselors in our own college. And 4 or 5 of the students asked me to get the contact number of the counselor from our college. Okay, so that they can talk to them and deal with the problem and deal with the anxiety or whatever that they are facing. So what is happening to the school? The school, have you ever heard of the story from any of the school going children saying that school is the only escape place that I feel relieved? School is the only place where I feel much better, because my family is not very supportive, and my father maybe is drinking, and a lot of other problems in the family. So school is the only escape route that I have that actually helps me to grow as an individual. That might be the thing that at least one of them would have spoken to you about. One student in a class would definitely have the story. Okay, so this is something that we have to consider. And I particularly asked a few schools what happened to the school counselor. Are they in contact with the students? Are they having any sessions with the students? No. Actually, most of the school counselors also lost their job during this period. CBSE, they had appointed schools to schools to do, and now maybe they don't know have them and how to make them work. Okay, but this is the time that they need. This is the time the psychologist is needed in schools. This is the time that they have to talk to somebody other than their own family members, if at all that is a requirement. So one suggestion: if there are any teachers in this group, if there are any professors in this group, if there are any principal in this group, I request you to. This is one thing that we have to do. Maybe during your class time, if you are very busy, just put in a psychologist number, phone number on your screen, so that the child notes it down and calls that counselor and talks to them. If at all that is the thing that is required. Maybe college students at least ask to us what to do, and they find somebody and they talk. But what is happening to the school students? School students don't do that. They don't know who to contact. So teachers are the only hope for them. Teachers, we know how the school environment was. Whenever a school student is feeling bad, there will be one teacher who the student will run to and talk to. Don't know how to do that. So we have to, make that route or create that path for them to make them speak. Okay. So this is something that I want to share, and this is talking more rather than those students' words. This is being shared in WhatsApp, social media, and everywhere, and this is how they feel. This is the anxiety level that people have. So I'm going to stop sharing. I'm going to continue talking with you all. I missed most of the chats that is there, but yeah, I'm going to just continue. I hope you're not seeing my screen. It stopped, right, ma'am? So
No.
yes, yeah, I'm going to continue. I'm going to talk about actually what is creating anxiety in students. See, I'm talking on the base of research studies. I'm talking about things based on research studies. So there were researches that was conducted like in 2019, 2017, generally on distance learning. So the result is how these distance learning students who are learning from that kind of open universities kind of thing, how is their performance in general and how level. So they have really found out that 30% of the population who are doing their courses on a distance mode is suffering from anxiety issues. We know why. As we told, one thing is they are not able to meet their teacher regularly, and they are not able to ask doubts. They are not able to talk as freely as when they used to. Teachers used to stay beyond their time, like 1 o'clock. We have college. After that, I have to stay in my college for 1 to 2. So that is the time for the students. They come and ask doubts to us. They talk to us, and they communicate with us. That is the time that we had given to them, though we are busy. Now the teachers are also suffering. It's not on the one side that only the students are suffering. Online classes are actually bothering teachers. Modella, we used to have meetings and other things only in campus, and we were able to concentrate on our other activities, or rather than now assignments, paper correction. Google Classroom is one more that we are using, and it is and online we have to prepare PPT if we are. So those are the things that is bothering, and so that is one thing. Not enough communication with the teacher. The thing, something called Google Meet link that keeps appearing every 1 hour, because we're having hours in every 1 hour. So at least if we have a structured way of taking class, then we have it. Okay, then we are actually the students are expecting that such kind of assignments or such kind of classes are going to happen. Some teachers, I'm not telling every teacher. Nowadays, teachers are becoming very, very but few teachers without knowing when is this anxiety increasing in general, when there is some kind of uncertainty, when there is some kind of information that is popping like that out of nowhere. So that's when this anxiety concept is actually increasing. So teachers sometimes, post assignments at midnight or night, because that is when they are free. We are not realizing that that message is actually reaching the other student at that particular time. Okay, Google Classroom also, you are going to, the mail is going to be sent to every single child, maybe at 10 p.m. The child did not expect that to come at that particular time, right? So he or she might have this panic thing, or that kind of anxiousness will pop up in any individual, because that is natural and that is biological. So that is one thing that we have to remember. So assignment are the other things. The teachers have to pre-plan and tell the students that they are going to receive this assignment at that particular time or something. Before this time, you can expect, or just tell them out and then go ahead with the assignment posting thing, so that their level of anxiety will just genuinely come down. So that is one thing that we have to realize as teachers. So that is the second connection activity, student, the connection between them is structured, and video on. That concept of keeping the video on is a must, is actually in most of the colleges, in most of the schools. Okay, that is a practice that is actually there in most of the colleges, most of the schools. Okay, that is a must, compulsory. So actually virtual learning anxiety is having a major thing only on this concept, keeping the video on. Okay, there are shy kids in your class, there are kids who are already feeling insecure about their own body image or something. They are having they might be introverts, they might not want to, they might not, few students might not want to show their face in general in public, they just hide somewhere. Okay, so those are the students really are having this anxiety issues in general. Maybe they have a background that is really bad. Okay, the screen is really I have something in my background. Okay, it's a plain wall. What kid who is living in a different place, and he or she cannot keep his or her video on, because he or she will be teased later in school or something. So such kind of thoughts are running in their head. Okay, and there is one important thing that runs in those students' head. What is it? Is everybody is noticing me. There are 40 in your class. Most of the time when you are actually seeing even now when we are in this platform, there are 40 or 38 of you here, and each of you have a box. Imagine that all had kept your video on. You know what would have happened? We all would have seen our own pictures, our own video. We are not focusing on anybody else's video. That's a reality, that is a fact. Okay. But in our head, what we are thinking is everybody are looking at me. Okay, so this is how Bama ma'am is thinking, this is how Bharati is thinking, this is how Salim sir is thinking, this is how Akshay is thinking. Okay, so everybody are thinking that all the others are looking at me. So they are very conscious about their body image, they are very conscious about themselves. Okay, this is actually distracting them from a lot. They are not totally focused on what they are moving their hand, how they are sitting, is their hair in or out, or is the camera okay. So these are the things that is there in their head. So we have to realize, and we have to reassure these kids, telling that that is how everybody else is also feeling. The reality should be told to them. The reality is that nobody is actually looking at you and actually having a focus only on you. I'm not telling it in a bad way, but it is good, right? So we can be ourselves in a video conference when we realize that we are not the only focus there. So few of them will like the attention, but most of them doesn't like that attention. So this is actually increasing a lot of this is increasing your anxiety level in general. This is what the students are going through. Okay, now for the past so many minutes, I am talking in a way that might have increased anxiety for few. I intentionally did that. Okay, there are teachers whose tone of voice is different. There are teachers who just shout in general. There are teachers who are calm totally. Okay, we know and we can manage things on a online class, I mean on a regular classroom, because we are sitting in the last row. Okay, these teachers are always used to shouting. Okay, so that has to come down in general. But that is one thing that is also increasing anxiety. To me, if I hear somebody speaking anxiously, I will become anxious. Okay, so that's one of the things that teachers also have to realize, and they have to calm down. They are doing it. Okay, so that is actually inducing. And this test thing that is happening in your classes. So what is it? 5 minutes time, 10 minutes time is there, that even during your exam hall, that will increase anxiety in you. Uh, this is like when it happens to. I got distracted using the chat box. Yes, Chandra ma'am. Learning today, anxiety also is contagious. It is true. Okay, so that is one thing that you have to realize, and you have your students in some way. Okay, so that is one other thing. Parents' anxiety or parents' thing. Will my child learn something? Okay, is she actually learning? These are the questions. Or sometimes you will hear your parents tell you that you have been sitting in front of the laptop for 4 continuous hours, and now you come and sleep. Is that what you do? You don't help me with anything. You are just wasting your time. I'm not even sure if you are actually attending a class, or your classes got cancelled. So these are the questions some of the parents, I'm not telling everybody. These are the things that some of the parents ask their students instead of instead of actually supporting them in general. This especially what Kitna told, 4 hours of so that you feel better and you can continue and your work. So that kind of understanding should be there with the parents. So awareness should be given to the parents as well. One other thing that is stressing the students more is financial crisis. Okay, because of COVID situation, it's not one thing. It is just link, and it just keeps going on and on. One thing leads to the other kind of thing. Okay, financial crisis. People are not able to paying the fees. People are spending money for internet connection, and the internet connection doesn't work sometime. It just goes off. I heard one student tell me that he or she is not able to get internet connection in his home, and he goes to the motamadi kind of thing, the uh, place, and what he does is terrace, and he sits there in the hot sun, and he listens to the class. What kind of learning will the child get? Okay, so a teacher should actually play a very important role here. um, to be frank, we need a break. Okay, after 3 months or time, we have spoken about it a lot. I, as a student, talked to one other student saying that this is frustrating me. I, as a student, talk to somebody else that this is, tiring me. So this is not helping. You have to say to somebody that um, something is not okay. Talk about things that are not okay to you, so that some kind of step will be taken. We cannot keep quiet for very long period of time. Okay, we all will understand the situation. So you school students, at least they know the parents have spoken. Parents have a real long important role here, and you have to do something so that things are fixed. So as an individual, this can't be changed for the next 3 months or 4 months. First of all, be true to yourself. First of all, do not lie to yourself saying that this is going to end in next month. Do not tell that. We will hope for the best. We will tell that, yes, let everything be calming down. Let everything get back to normal. Let everything will come back to normal really soon, kind of thing. Let's just tell to ourselves. It is good that you are hoping for the best to happen. But the reality is it is going to take some time. That is true. That is the fact. That is the thing that you have to know. So what I am as an individual, what can I as an individual do? Firstly, avoid any other screen time. Okay, if you are like having 4 hours of your screen time because of your online classes and 3 hours or 2 hours of your screen time because of your assignments, more than enough. Okay, that has really tired you. Drained you off to the extent, to a maximum extent. That is more than enough. A few of my students tell that they watch series. Okay, that is one of the things that youngsters do now. Okay, they watch Korean dramas, they watch English series. That was all. We also did all those things. Okay, but that situation was different. You are actually spoiling your own health because of those habits that you are actually having like that. Okay, you have to control such things. Talk to your friends. Okay, call your friends, talk to them, help your parents. Nowadays I see a lot of people engaging in cooking and drawing and doing things like that. So build in some kind of hobbies and try to do that. Distracting yourself is good in a certain way, okay, but you're not dealing with the problem. This is going to continue. Then you have to have a healthy coping strategies so that it helps you in general. So that is the thing that I had to tell you. And yes, and again, I'm not telling all the students are suffering from anxiety. All the students are having this issue of putting their video on. No, I'm not telling about that. I'm not talking about that at all. I'm telling 30. Research says 30%, 30% of the students who are attending online courses or online classes are actually suffering from anxiety. So it is just 30%. So shall we just leave them off like that? No, they are humans. 30% is 15. If a class is having 50, then 15 of them, probably. Okay? If my math, just ignore that. But generally, that 30% is not. Okay, we have to consider each of these human beings and each of them should be taken care of. At least before we could see the students' face and tell them whether they are feeling good or not. Now, no, nothing like that. So if you are a student, talk about your feelings to your teacher, share it. I have given my students at least 1 hour of time sometime whenever I feel like we have to talk kind of thing. I just ask them to talk. This topic that I've chosen today is because of my students. Okay, I know how badly I need not talk today. If I ask one of my students to talk, they will talk for the entire hour. So it is how much they have to get out things, ventilation, ventilate things out. They have to, right? So give them the opportunity to do that. Use psychologists, okay? Teachers, if you are a parent, if you have a child who is studying in a school, just talk to your the teachers, and tell them to give a contact number of a psychologist. If you are a good parent, yeah, you are all amazing parents, I understand, but they have to talk to somebody. Not your own child needs that help. Maybe somebody else in that own class needs a help. They have to talk to somebody. They have to talk. So we have to know, you are all doctors. Most of you are, psychology professors and psychologists, renowned persons. We have to, as individuals, have to spread all these things. So with that, I'm going to end the session for today. Virtual learning anxiety is there and is present, and we have to give importance to that, and we have to care for our own students, our own college students and school students. So with that, I'm going to end my session. So if you have any doubts, if you have any sharing, then you can please go ahead with that. I'll be really happy to hear from you. Thank you so much for patiently listening to me so far. Thank you so much.
That was an excellent presentation, Ananya. Thanks for taking topic which need to be addressed, and many of the students are really facing this problem. Uh, and Participants who have questions can kindly unmute your mics and go ahead with the question, or you could put in the chat box. Ananya, I have a question. This virtual anxiety is not only with the students, even a few teachers, mostly teachers who are working in rural areas. This concept is very new for them, taking classes online. So, what tips would you advise for them?
Okay, thank you, Veena ma'am, for asking that question. To be frank, virtual learning is or virtual teaching anxiety is also present in most of the teachers. That is the thing that they have to realize. As I told you, we are undergoing a lot of. It's not we have to prepare classes. We have to, spend more time on online and correct papers and other things. That itself is increasing the anxiety first. Second, the background image and other things. Uh, if a teacher, actually, I would really tell that teachers have to be really focusing on what they teach. They know who they are and they know that they are knowledgeable and they have to have their confidence and they have not. Um, they are not the only person who are facing this issue, and if at all the background and other things, I'm generally talking, I understand the question but I'll come to that. So generally if there is a background issue that students or the teachers are facing, we have this option of green background, right? So we can use that in general. And for teachers who haven't used technology at all in their life, okay, like in the beginning of the corona time and online classes time, they had lots of issue. Okay, like they don't know how to mute people. They just do things, and there are cases like that also happening. So such kind of help in technology should be is required for those teachers. So probably there are somebody in their home or somebody who helped them out, but still they are actually going through such kind of things, and they have to be confident. That is my answer. They have to be confident that what they do is teaching and they know what they are doing. If that is the thought, they will probably cut down all the other thoughts and they will focus on teaching and they will do the best. Technology is actually a barrier, but now we know teachers, right? They learn things. They are open to learning most of the time, and they have learned and they are coping. They are doing what they are able to do with the help of certain people. So students are actually helping them out. That is the truth. So did I answer your question, Veena ma'am?
Yeah. Thank you, Ananya. Thank you so much.
Yes.
Yes. Any other
Any
questions?
question?
Yes, sir. Please go ahead, sir.
Yes, sir.
Ananya, you have presented very, enriching, and it was a very insightful knowledge on how this this thing to throw some light on the how the disability children like slow learners and like IDD children's how they can manage during this virtual, they must be having more anxiety. Do you have any study or experiences on such things, and those kind of people can cope up?
Thank you so much, Shivakumar sir, for asking. I was about to tell it and I missed. Thank you so much for asking that question. To be frank, this online classroom for ADHD kids and learning disability or slow learners kids are actually not helping research, but we can get it from our own teachers working in the school, right? I communicated with few of them. So those teachers told me that at least in the classroom, I was able to, ask them to come and sit in front and ask them to, listen. But nowadays, that is also not happening. To be frank, the parents, what they can do is they can actually have some kind of tutors, or they can themselves find a way or techniques, learn from their from experts like a psychologist or a teacher, and then make them sit down with them. It is a time for them. They can use the time. That is what I'm trying to tell. Online classes is happening, yes. Uh, actually missing, and there are a high rate of dropouts when it comes to online courses and online classes. That is also one of the research. So these parents can actually hire somebody to help them out, or sit with the children particularly because they have time, and create a environment wherein they have all the play things and other things, wherein they themselves sit together and make the learning experience really good. That is the only way that can help these students, because online teaching is not actually it is very evident that it is not going to help the students. So parents without being anxious about what is happening to their children, if they are utilizing it in a positive way, it is going to help them. This time might be a boon for them. This time might be a blessing for them. So that awareness should be given. Thank you for asking that question, sir. That is what should be told to those kids' parents, because they are having lots of time now. So yes.
Yeah. Actually in the society and all, such a type of children's, we have to address them, because normal children's, okay, parents and all able to help them, but only such type of children's who are having adversity by birth or by nature or anything. So my focus is that to help them, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am, for your excellent answer.
Thank you, sir. Actually, the teachers who are working in the schools know those kids who are slow learners and other things. So maybe they can just put a list of those children's name and contact their parents and have a session for them particularly with the psychologist, and so that the psychologist actually teaches them ways to deal with or occupational therapist or whoever. They is done, it is going to be really helpful for the students. So that is what we have to do. That is what we are going to talk about to the school students and teachers now, all of us.
Yeah,
Thank you, Shivakumar sir.
sure, ma'am. Sure, it is all our attempt to help them, madam. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Okay.
Manikali ma'am, do you want to ask something? Okay, Veena ma'am.
Okay, I think that
Hi,
was an
Ananya.
excellent. Yes.
Hi, this is Harini Sriram. Let me thank you for your presentation.
Yes.
I'd like to ask that as professors in colleges, is there work done on reducing the assignments or, reducing the general workload of students and being more lenient on deadlines and all that? Is there a collective effort being done by the colleges? Because when we're talking about anxiety.
Ma'am, thank you for that question. To be depends on the college, and it depends on the department. And if we haven't got any instruction from the management, as in this is the way you have to deal with it. That's why I'm telling the teachers are having the role here. They can give an assignment which is light. Maybe they can separate, or 20 marks assignment. They need not do it on a one go at a time. Maybe they can split it down into small things, and maybe they can be analyzed in different ways. A participation can be given marks and other things. But that's what, ma'am. We can't keep quiet for a long time. We have to speak out, and it should be from the students. Until they tell that there is an issue, the management will probably not know. We cannot even complain. So, to your answer, we have to work on it, ma'am.
Yeah, thank you. And I'd like to answer the question asked by Shivakumar sir earlier regarding special needs children.
Go ahead.
Normally, what happens is, as you rightly said, Ananya, this is a wonderful time for the parents to bond with the children. But having said that, if the parents of special children are also working, then the anxiety is for them as well. There is increased anxiety now because in classes of inclusive groups, when they see neurotypical children along with special children, what happens is there is a lot of comparison that goes in the minds of the parents. So there is increased levels of anxiety for the parents as well. So in that case, what we generally do is sometimes we try to group the children so that there is less anxiety. In small groups, actually, it tends to work better, and we really see that there is better eye contact or better, the outcome is better. See, on the whole, online classes has its own share of disadvantages, and it's very challenging for special children. But when you divide them into smaller groups, the schools or colleges need to really work on that and take some time and design that format along with the teachers. If that we are able to do, then the reach is better, and the parents are also able to open up, and the children are also able to just open up and concentrate and listen better.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you so much for your input, ma'am.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am, for additional input. I got it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yes,
Shall I just add to what Harini ma'am said? I'm really sorry, Akshay here.
yeah, Akshaya, please
Yeah.
go ahead.
Yeah, 1 minute now. So yes, as Harini ma'am said, I know a school where they put special students in small groups, like five members team or something like that. So what happens is the teacher's role is increasing there also. What happens is that the teacher in the morning, she teaches the same content for the five students. Again, in the afternoon for another five students, she's taking the same content. It's the workload for the teachers is also increasing, where that I personally appreciated when small groups were like brought up and they were giving importance to them. But the teachers' mental health also in that case has to be what to say, considered. I felt like, yeah, we are all working on it. This is the first time that all these online classes and everything is there are pros and there are cons, and I guess by these discussions we are going to get a lot of ideas about about it as professionals, as teachers, as professors, as the management heads. We are going to work on it, and I appreciate Ananya for taking this topic, which is a start for us to think about what can be done in our management, if at all it is possible. So I really appreciate Harni ma'am for asking this question, and Shivakumar sir also. I'm really thankful for you people. Thank you for the opportunity, Ananya Lakshmi, and also Veena ma'am for allowing me to talk. Thank you.
Yes. Thank you, Akshay. I also want to share a few points with you, because this is concerned with special children, and one of my friends who is a special educator, she is preparing IEPs, which is a very individualized educational program for each student, and she has been giving it for each student, giving them. So it has been happening, and definitely this is a challenge for both the children, parent, and as well as for the teacher. So definitely with a few, over a period of time, we all will know how to overcome the glitches soon. And thanks, Ananya, for taking this topic and enlightening us with your wonderful presentation. And thanks for the inputs from Harini as well as from Akshaya. And now it's time to place vote of thanks. So I call upon Krishnan sir to please do the honors.
Very much. And I'm MSc days, such a transformation in her, and her application skills, and the acquiring knowledge, all those things were fantastic. And today this topic, in fact, I'm kind of me too kind of a thing, that not very technically savvy, and I have to ask people, beg people for something. Sometimes it happens, sometimes it doesn't happen. I always approach for help. Like you say, these are more savvy with this, and I learn from them, and I really get anxious when I'm going to do some recording or downloading, and I don't know how much space it will take. All these things will be going into my head, and till a session everything goes smooth. But this has given kind of thrown lots of light for me to be confident, as well as chill out, for not to worry about, so thank you very much, Ananya. I am very happy the way you are growing, um, and thanks for wonderful presentation today. So on behalf of all of us, the core team, and American College, and Chalamuthu Trust, MSSW, very close associate for us, and of course I have to thank from our end Wellbeing Center, and all the other core team member. I thank you so very much. Have a great evening.
Thank you, Krishnan sir, for doing the honors. And participants, kindly send your queries and feedback to mywebinarfeedback@gmail.com. We will meet tomorrow with yet another wonderful session. Thank you. Good night. Bye bye.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for the. Thank you for being.
Well taken, Ananya. Thank you.
Thank you, Vinama. For being here.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you. All the best. You have done a very good, wonderful job.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much. Means a lot.